Hello, I'm Trace,
And I'm Sam.
and we're Too Hot for TV, and this is From Our Perspective. Welcome to episode 25. Hey Sam, you know what's funnier than 24?
25?
No, a lot of other things, because 24 is just a number.
Oh,
That's a good one.
okay.
I played with your expectations.
Like The Last Jedi.
What?
Very timely reference. Anyways.
Anyways, it's episode 25. This one's going to be a wild one. It might be a short one.
Yeah, I'm a little sniffly, so.
Yeah, we had quite a long week. And that's why we just kind of we still want to make sure that you all get everything, but this episode will be out late, and you know, it's just a whole. We both had a long week.
Considering it's Monday right now.
Considering we are recording on a Monday, we just didn't want to deprive you all of this good podcast
this,
that you listen to.
This thing you're craving. You're like, I need to hear these two talk about stupid stuff.
We typically post at like 8 in the morning, so I'm just like imagining someone set their alarm and they're like looking, just scrounging just one person though, just scrounging all over the internet, YouTube.
Some guy in Michigan.
Some dude in Michigan is just scrounging and he's like, where is it? Where the fuck is it?
I can't find it.
He's crying. But to you, good sir, the man who's actually doing that, thanks for caring this much, but it will be out late.
Yeah, it'll be out eventually.
It'll be out in the afternoon. Anyway, I wanted to talk about all this Area 51 garbage.
Oh God, not this.
Because, I mean, it's I guess in the meme community, it's the hot new thing.
It's the hot new thing, yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, Sam, you know what's going on. You explain it.
Yeah, I don't know how I caught wind of this before other people, but I knew about this like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how I did that, but...
Did you sign up?
I did not, because
because it's dumb.
Not going to go to Nevada...
And
B, I don't want to die.
Alright, explain it.
So, basically the concept is a bunch of people on Facebook have made a pledge to go to Area 51 and just storm it. Like, what's the name of it? What's the name of the Facebook
Let's go
group?
storm Area 51. They can't stop us all.
But they definitely can.
They can. So, I was actually invited to the group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on Facebook. And I mean, we were just doing a show, so I was on Facebook more than I typically am. So I kept seeing, like, it's like you were invited to join this group, and it would kept showing me specific posts. And apparently, it's just a big meme page. Like,
Yeah.
it's just people posting memes. But there's, like, almost 1 million people who have signed up,
Yeah.
and then another 1 million who have said that they're interested.
Oh, now celebrities are like... Have you seen that?
What?
Like, it's like... I think Chuck Norris is like... Here I come, Area 51.
Here I come. And
Keanu Reeves
did
is
it
like...
too.
I think The Rock did.
Oh my god. If
All of them are
don't
going to
think
die.
they're-
It's going to be so sad.
I don't think any celebrities will actually go. I think they're just
course
joining in on the
not.
hype.
Of course
Um,
not.
But here's the thing.
Except maybe Keanu Reeves. I don't know what he gets up with.
I hope he doesn't go, because he'll get shot with a 50 caliber bullet from a M60 on the back of a Humvee.
Yeah, it'd be very tragic.
It would. I guess here's the thing. If they actually do try to storm it, and there are so many people who have said that they're going, that I would not be surprised if like anywhere between 20 to 100,000 people showed up. Because just like 2-3 days ago, it was only like 500,000, and now it's up to 1 million.
Well, here's probably what's gonna happen. They're gonna get there. It's gonna be like maybe like 100,000 people. If that happened, that'd be crazy. That big of a number. But they're going to be ready for these people, these civilians, and it's gonna be like riot control. And they're gonna have like
here's what it was. The government, of course, has heard about this.
Yes, obviously,
and
they heard about it before I heard about it.
And they're saying that we're ready with military force if people try to storm one of our bases. Like it's an actual military base. They will. There was a man who tried to run into, who like drove through a checkpoint without stopping to go into an unrestricted area of Area 51, and they basically shot him so many times that he was Swiss cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're gonna stop if people try to do it. I don't think they're not gonna do that. They're gonna. If you all get in, this is my message to everyone. If you all get in, like say you get through that first riot shield wall, and you get into the base, they will shoot you.
Yes.
You will die.
Don't go, please.
Don't go. And if you do,
it's a good meme, and I appreciate it.
It's funny. The concept is funny, but don't actually follow
and all the
through.
things that have spawned from it, like people like memes about them stealing their alien from Area 51.
People saying that like they're gonna slap them alien cheeks.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the internet, and you know,
everything's a little sexual.
If it's not sexual, then it's not the internet.
That's right.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy.
I hope.
But
have you seen their battle plan?
They have one?
Yeah, so this is what their plan is. So since this is such a meme, their plan is to send all the Karens in first so they can try to speak to the manager.
Okay. I know about one part, the Naruto runners.
Yeah. Then after the Karens can take out the manager, then they're going to send in the Kyles, who are all going to be vaping. And the Kyles are basically like, they're just there to be shot, basically.
Yeah, the cannon fodder.
Yeah. And then everyone else will be Naruto running through the north and south flanks. Because
when you run like that, nothing can catch you.
You can outrun the bullets.
That's right.
You become more aerodynamic. So yeah, that's their battle plan, I think.
And that's probably gonna work.
I think
we're gonna find out the truth.
I think so. September 20th, which is my sister's birthday. I'm either going to learn about the fact that there are aliens in the area.
It's going to be a national tragedy.
Yeah, here's my other thing about it. Since they made themselves so well known, whatever was hiding at Area 51 is already out.
Yeah.
It's already out. They're not going to keep things
Maybe
there.
They're really confident in the fact that they can kill 100,000 or so people. Or at least get them to disperse.
That's true, I guess. But yeah, on my sister's birthday, I'm either going to learn about aliens or there's going to be a horrible tragedy where anywhere between 100,000 and 1 million people died.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. That's the whole podcast right there. No.
We did say it was going to be a little short.
It's going to be a real short one, 9 minutes. No. But when it came to Area 51, that's it. So we're going to kick it over to the main topic. And the main topic this week is actually one that I'm surprised we haven't thought of sooner.
Yeah. Well, it's because... I'm personally not a big sports man.
So we're talking about sports. The classics: football, baseball, soccer.
No, I don't think that's right.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're correct. We're actually talking about the weirdest sports that you might not be familiar with. Things that you might be familiar with. You know, it depends on how weird you are if you've seen these things or where you're from.
Are they weirder or equal to curling? The concept of pushing a thing down an ice path by what is it? Smoothing
sweeping.
The ice?
I guess so.
Making it all slippery.
I think what it is you're...
Are they stopping it?
Yeah, because they start brushing a lot more when it gets closer to the target. So I think doing that is like kicking up some ice.
Okay.
Making it a little slushier so it slows it down.
Interesting.
Curling is one of my favorite sports when it comes on the Olympics. So I don't think anything can top that. But they are definitely conceptual, much weirder. So the first one I want to talk about, I think is technically, I don't know if it's technically a sport, but it's very sport-like.
Okay.
So we're gonna go over to Gloucester, England.
Okay.
Can you take a guess at what it is?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you, it involves cheese.
Oh, is it the cheese wheel thing?
Yeah. So it's called the Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling and Wake.
Hold on, wake?
Yeah. I was about to say, isn't that for like a funeral service?
Yeah, what?
If you've seen a video on this event and you see how some of these people fall down the hill, you wouldn't be surprised if there was a wake involved, because these people
that's what it means.
fall, dude. Like there's a video I watched, and the video I watched was kind of the thing that made me think of it, where you just, like, people have bloody noses, they're laying on the ground being taken care of by paramedics.
It's probably worth it for cheese wheels.
For a 7-pound cheese wheel. So it's an annual event held on the spring break holiday at Cooper's Hill near Gloucester in England. It was traditionally held by and for the people who live in the local village of Brockworth, Gloucestershire.
Could there be anything more English than that name?
Brockworth, Gloucestershire. Hello.
It sounds fake.
It does. It sounds like...
I think that...
It sounds like an American was just, like, making fun of the British accent.
Yeah.
So they said the most British thing they could think of.
Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever that town was.
Now, people all over the world take part. The Guardian newspaper called it a world-famous event with winners from the U.S., Australia, New Zealand, and Nepal, of all places.
Okay.
The event,
like, we want to get in on this.
We want in on this. It's like
we got
like,
cheese wheels.
It's like England and in most of its former colonies, and then Nepal's just like, I'd like to be here too.
I'm game. Ain't too proud.
It's me, Nepal. Down for anything.
That's the event, slogan.
Yeah, the event is traditional and takes its name from the steep hill on which it occurs, and this hill is steep. And
I've seen it.
And since it rains at all times in Britain, it's also muddy and slick.
A muddy, sloppy mess.
It's so muddy and sloppy.
Okay, wouldn't that ruin the cheese wheels?
I guess not, because... So, I think from what I know, they give the cheese like a 1-second head start. So, I mean,
I'm not talking about the cheese losing the race, Trace. I'm talking about mud all over the cheese.
No, what I'm saying is before people start trampling down the hill, it's still just a hill. So, I mean, I would imagine it gets somewhat dirty, but it's not going to be, like, covered in mud.
There's, like, bugs and stuff in the grass.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, it'll get somewhat dirty, but it's not going to be, like, covered in mud. It's just
okay, so you're saying, like, I take I'm like, we're like a cookout, okay? And I'm like, hey Trace, you want a burger? And I just like roll it down the hill. You're still gonna eat that?
If I like kind of brush it off, it's a burger. And plus,
Okey-dokey
that's like
then.
a 7 to 9 pound cheese wheel. You could probably like cut off a layer of it and then eat it.
All right, I guess you're right.
So until recent years, it was managed by a quasi-official manner by nominated locals. But since 2010, the event has taken place spontaneously, without any management.
So they just show up.
Basically, a bunch of people show up, and it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's no management, so anyone can do it. Like, there are videos, and you see children doing this. And, like, I'm on Wikipedia right now for this one. There is a specific tab on Wikipedia that says injuries.
I mean, that seems appropriate.
So, I'm going to that tab.
You'd
Due to
imagine
this,
there'd be beer involved in this.
you would think that, like, everyone gets drunk right before.
This sounds like the type of thing a drunk redneck would do.
Yeah, this sounds very...
Except they don't have giant cheese wheels.
Yeah, if you replace the cheese wheel with something, this sounds very American.
I guess this is what drunk Englishmen get up to.
Before they run around headbutting people.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, members of the the local St. John ambulance is the first aid on site. Members of the local rugby club and young farmers volunteer their service by acting as catchers for any participants who lose their balance. I don't think they do, because if you see these videos, these people are tumbling down this hill. It's nuts. For who lose their balance and also are on hand to carry down any casualties requiring first
Dead
aid.
people?
I think it uses casualties weird.
Okay, like
Just
hurt
people
people.
who got hurt.
Well, I would imagine they'd have to carry dead people as well.
Maybe. This has been going on since like the 1800s. Let me see if I can find the exact year. 1826. This has been going on since 1826.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, there's got to be a death. There has to be someone
Somebody's
who died.
died during this. Absolutely.
Cooper's Hill's cheese rolling has been summarized by a previous participant as 20 young men chasing the cheese off a cliff and tumbling 200 yards to the bottom, where they were strapped up by paramedics and packed off to the hospital. The quotation was reported. This quotation was reported in the Sydney Morning Herald newspaper on the 13th of November, 2008. In an amusing title article, "Return to Edom." That's amusing. Good one.
Zinger.
It's not telling me anything about deaths.
Well,
There's
maybe
gotta be
nobody's died.
There's-
I mean, I'm sure somebody has, because everybody's died somewhere.
Yeah. You ever just thought about that? Like, you're just, like, kind of walking along, and you're like, there have been so many people on this earth that someone has probably died in this exact spot.
I mean, maybe.
I would say that most places, and this is probably just my guess, you couldn't, in a 10-foot radius, there's someone who's probably died there at one point.
I don't know. That's a lot.
But there are so many people.
Yeah, but
Regardless.
there's a lot of land.
Regardless.
Anyways,
So the next sport, we're moving on from cheese rolling.
okay.
Something a little bit more ridiculous, in my opinion.
Oh wow.
This one originated in Finland, and its history is based around the 19th century legend Herkko Rosvo Ronkainen.
We certainly mispronounced that.
I think I got it in one.
I don't think so.
Or also known as Ron Kanan the Robber. Um, there are 3 different stories of how the sport was created, and the sport is wife carrying.
Okay, so hold on.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sport is wife carrying.
Yes.
And the name of the person or figure that started it has robber.
Yeah, it's Ron Kanan the Robber.
So he stole people's wives.
Possibly.
Is that?
I mean, there are 3
the
different
root of this?
stories.
Okay.
So, yeah, the first one is him and his thieves were accused of stealing food and women from villages in the area he lived in, then carried these women on their backs as they ran away. It has been said that men would go to villages near their own town, to steal other men's wives and to take them as their own wife. And third, the story that Ron Kanan tried his thieves by carrying big heavy sacks on their his thieves by carrying big heavy sacks on their back, which would have eventually evolved into a sport. So basically it had to do with stealing wives.
Yeah. Yeah.
The third one, I don't see how it would go from big heavy sacks to actual women.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
You never know. The first modern day wife carrying event was held in Finland in 1992, and foreign contestants were admitted in 95. This event is now held annually in some town in Finland I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce because it has like the umlaut and I'm just lost.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's held there as the World Championship. A North American Championship was started in 99. So it has its own branches in different countries, and then they all come together in Finland.
So it's okay. So it's what is the goal? Is there like a thing you need to get to, or is it like who goes the furthest?
I think what it is there is a specific like course, and I think it's like a time trial. So whoever finishes the course the fastest is the winner. Like it's like an obstacle course. You have to carry through water, over rough terrain, stuff like that.
So it's like Wipeout, but you're carrying your wife.
And kind of less big funny obstacles, more of...
Do they have those big red balls?
That would be great. If we could... Wipeout is like one of my favorite shows because it reminds me of that... Did you ever watch that show? I know there were many versions of it, but it was originally Japanese and they brought it over here and English dubbed it.
Are you talking about Ninja Warrior?
No. It was like Wipeout, where there were these big ridiculous challenges. I think one version of it was called Takeshi's Castle.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I used to watch that show all the time. It was like Wipeout, but it was in Japan first, and then when they brought it over here, they did like funny English dub version. And you just watch Japanese people eat shit, not literally, but like eat shit on these giant weird obstacles, get hit in the face by flying kickballs and stuff.
Yeah.
It was basically Wipeout, but like hardcore. Anyway, founded in 1999, the North American Wife Carrying Championship. It was held annually in mid-October, and it's been held in Maine since the beginning. Winners of 13 U.S. state events and 2 Canadian provincial events have competed in the North American Championship. Winners have the option of competing in the World Championship and have placed as high as 5th. So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You just carry your wife.
To say.
So apparently, teammates are not required to be legally married. But I think
What's the point of
I
that?
think the
I think if you win, you're legally married now, though.
okay. So let's make our own rules. Let's make
Yeah.
so like you know how there's the NFL for football, and then there's like the arena football teams, where it's like even more
No.
hardcore football.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. So they're like arena football teams where it's like a smaller field, but like more badass people.
They like have bats.
Yeah, they run around hitting each other with bats. Let's start like our own arena wife carrying championship, and we'll make up our own rules.
They have to wield their wife like a claymore and strike the other
by her legs,
competitors down. Yeah.
and she just has to stand up straight. That would be a jacked dude if someone could actually hold someone by their legs
And just swing them.
Yeah. So they don't have to be legally married, but I think the other one definitely does have. Sorry, definitely does have to be a woman. Helmets are not required for the carried competitor. The World Championship requires a helmet, so for the person on the other person's back. And when I say on their back, it's not how you think. It's not like Yoda on Luke Skywalker's back. It's like they're upside down. So their feet, the person on the person's back, their feet is by their head, and their head, the woman's head, is by the man's butt, like on his lower back.
Right in his butt.
Yeah. The only special equipment allowed to be worn by the carrier is a belt, which is optional. And there's no minimum weight limit for the female competitor.
What about clothes? Do they get to wear clothes?
Yes, they are definitely wearing clothes. Okay, here's the actual competition. Competitors run the course 2 at a time in initial heats, with each team being timed. The 2 fastest teams qualify for the final heat. So, okay, so it's 2 at a time, kind of like a tournament style. So there are 2, and then the fastest 2 out of everyone goes for the finale. And then the fastest one can qualify for the world. Because the final heat is determined by time, qualifying teams do not necessarily have to win their initial heat. Additional heats may be run for third place and on. If the competitor drops his teammate, their team will be penalized with 5 seconds added to their time. Teams may not advance on the course without the wife being carried, and will be disqualified if they do not carry their wife the entire length of the course. There is no restriction on how the female teammate is carried. Several types. Every picture I see on this website is what I described, with the legs around the back, or legs around the neck, to kind of
Is that
secure.
like the most effective way to carry a person?
I guess so, but it says like people will fireman carry like over both shoulders. People can piggyback. It says, however, the most popular is the Estonian carry, in which the wife hangs upside down. Okay, so there's no
Seems like
real.
That'd be very uncomfortable for her.
I mean, it's only like a. It's not. They're not really on their backs for a long time. It's like a 278-yard course. North American courses are typically run on uneven ground with some level and elevation change. The Worlds run on a flat track. Course design included 2 dry obstacles and 1 water obstacle. However, the specific obstacles designs may vary by year. So it is kind of like Wipeout.
Hold on, a water obstacle?
Mm-hmm.
She's being carried upside down.
Yeah, there's a video of it. So just to let you know, this concluded. I think there was I think they had one of these not too long ago, because there's articles from like last week talking about the new world champions, who actually are 2-time world champions, and it's a Lithuanian couple. So apparently they just concluded the world championship.
Apparently.
But there are videos of it, and you can see like when they run into the water obstacle, for a second you think that the girl is gonna drown. because her head goes underwater, and then most of them they will lift their head up as they run through the water. So
What if they just held their breath?
that'd be neat. Anyway, that's wife carrying.
Yep.
Now I just think at this point I'm just gonna kind of fire off because I've got Huffington Post, and I've got a thing called tiebreaker.com, and some of these we've seen, some of these we haven't, so we're going to talk about them. These are just going to be quick fired. So we've got chess boxing, which is a classic.
I think I've heard of this.
It's a classic. This is one that I've definitely heard of. It says it's a hybrid of knocking out and checkmating the opponents. The battle consists of 11 rounds in which competitors alternate between playing traditional chess and boxing. Pretty self-explanatory. You play chess for I think anywhere between like it's a couple of minutes. You play chess for a couple of minutes, and then you just beat the shit out of each other for a couple of minutes.
I don't know about this.
And I think you either knock your opponent out or you win in chess, or you have to do both. I don't know.
Beats me.
This one is called Extreme Ironing. Do you know anything about this?
Nope.
Can you take a guess at what it is?
Well, it's ironing, like a race, I guess, like a shirt ironing.
Yes, you're right, but it's not a race. This one, I guess, isn't really even I don't know.
Is it quality?
No.
How smooth you can get that shirt? Get all them wrinkles out. Who gets the
You're
best?
thinking too rationally.
Is it like throwing irons or something?
No, again,
Who can throw that iron the farthest?
it's an extreme sport. Basically, competitors call themselves ironists. They go to a remote location and iron their clothes. So, the picture provided by Huffington Post is a man on a rock in the middle of like a whitewater rapids river. Handstanding.
Okay, I was about to make a joke of, okay, so they just like run out into the woods and start ironing clothes? Apparently.
They basically go to weird locations, dangerous locations, and iron clothes dangerously.
That's the,
Like this man
I'm just gonna say it. That's one of the dumbest things I've
This
ever
man
heard
is
of.
doing a handstand on an ironing board while ironing a t-shirt over a whitewater rapid while he's balancing on a rock.
There's so many things that person could be doing to like help society.
I don't think so.
All the time it took him to be able to balance on a ironing board in the middle of rapids.
It looks like a rapids.
He could have helped people.
The domestic chore has been performed underwater, hanging from cliffs, while skiing or snowboarding, or even on top of vehicles.
Have they done it in space yet?
I think as soon as someone does it in space, they've won.
They won.
And they
the whole
can't
thing.
they can't do that sport anymore. Here's a good one: egg throwing, which is just egg throwing.
Like at other people, or is it like distance?
It's like an egg toss.
Accuracy.
It's like, you know how it like family gathering. Did you ever do egg tosses at family gatherings?
No, I can't say I did.
Oh. Well, we did.
Well, hold on. What does that entail?
You just get a partner and you toss the egg back and forth. You toss it once and then you take a step back and you just keep going farther.
Okay, I think I know it. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, you keep.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
You take a step back, so you keep
Can't
getting
that be
farther.
done with water balloons as well?
Yeah. And as soon as the egg or the water balloon breaks, then that team is out, and you just keep going. So yeah, my family does that. We do it pretty much every year at our Halloween party that we have as a family, because we play like different games, like we bob for apples and stuff like that. We'll do an egg toss.
Do you extreme iron? You should try.
Yeah, I'll climb up on the roof with my grandmother's ironing board and just iron some clothes.
I'll be like, Trace, have you gone mad?
Are you insane? This next one is called underwater hockey.
Okay.
Do
That doesn't make any sense.
you want to know another name for it that's actually a whole hell of a lot better?
Yes.
Octopush.
God.
Octopush.
How is okay? No. We're not moving on from that.
Well,
Octopush. Are there 8 of them?
I think
Is
it's
there anything
just,
to do
I
with
think
8,
it's-
or is it just an octopus pun?
I think it's
Because
just an octopus. I think it's just an octopus pun. The sport is played worldwide and involves 2 teams playing to push a puck using a stick across the floor of a swimming pool into the opposing team goal. It's just underwater hockey. It first took place in 1980, if that helps you at all.
great.
It's literally just underwater hockey. So you're in a specific area and you have to get the puck into the goal.
Wonderful.
This
I'm
next
glad it
one
exists.
also originated in England, and you can really tell that I guess that the English are just a bored people because this one is just shin kicking.
Also, they're apparently not very good at coming up with things to entertain themselves with.
Are they like everyone's like Americans are violent, but we're not like throwing ourselves off of like a 200-foot cliff to catch a wheel of cheese or kicking each other in the shins for fun.
They also have rugby, which is like
extreme football,
yeah.
American football. I would never refer
Yeah.
to soccer as football because I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm not a little pansy. I remember being so against ever calling soccer football when I used to play football because I was like, I hate soccer. It is not as good as the sport I
I'm
play.
so confused of what you played versus what you didn't want to call something else.
I played
'Cause you said
I
those
played
4
American
words.
football,
Yes.
and I remember when I was like 7 or 8, I learned
And
that
you didn't want to call soccer football because you played football.
because I played actual football,
American football.
and soccer to me was always taught as being like a girly sport.
Well,
When I was
take your gender,
when I was
take your
young,
gender stereotypes and get out of here.
listen, those people who play soccer, they can like really get down and dirty. Anyway,
can.
let's talk about shin kicking. Let's not talk about
They'd probably be pretty good at shin kicking. 'Cause they
takes
kick balls.
oh, if you got mad at me for gender stereotypes, then you're going to get mad at the Huffington Post. Shin kicking
Okay.
takes manliness to a whole new level. Originating in
What, you saying women can't do it? Saying women can't shin kick with the best of them?
I mean, I'm sure they can. Originating in England in the early 17th century.
Great.
The combat sport involves 2 contestants attempting to kick each other on the shin until one hits the ground. This is what I imagine happening in this.
Glad we broke off with them before we got shin kicking brought over.
before shin kick. No, they were already shin kicking. The early 17th century,
Oh shit, yeah.
they were already shin kicking.
Damn it. Well, good thing we didn't take that then.
Yeah, good thing we didn't take that. The shin kicking world championship is part of the Cotswold Olympic Games. Now, Olympic is not spelled like you would think it is. It is Olympick.
Great.
An annual event held on Dover's Hill, north in the English town of Chippencampden. That, again, sounds like a fake British thing.
Yep.
Oh my god, are these... What is up with Britain? This next one is also a British sport.
Okay, let's hear it.
Toe wrestling.
Stop. That's so gross. That's so gross.
Just the genuine... Stop.
Stop it.
You didn't know what was coming next, but you were so ready for it to be the worst thing ever.
You said toe wrestling, and I just got this picture of just 2 feet just like
Going at it.
interlocked.
Yeah,
and I was
basically.
like,
It's like arm wrestling or thumb wrestling. Perfectly summed up by its name, toe wrestling.
But
Involves
so much grosser.
yeah, involves competitors going toe to toe. Good one. The unusual sport dates back to 1976 when the Brits were looking to gain a world sports title. Rules are simple. With socks,
They were like, we're losing everything. We just make up our own thing.
let's make up our own thing.
We got good toes, I guess.
Rules are simple. With socks and shoes off, two competitors interlock their toes and try to pin down the opponent's foot. So it's like arm wrestling, but with feet.
Gross.
Yep.
I hate it.
Now this one is called... I don't even know what to call it. CPAC Tack Raw.
Excuse me?
I'm almost for certainly mispronouncing that. Native
Okay,
to
what country is that from?
Southeast Asia, so it's kind of a region.
Okay.
CPAC Tack Raw is similar to what we know now as volleyball. The catch: players can pass around the ball using anything but their arms, and the game is played with a ball of dried palm leaves. So this one seems pretty interesting, actually.
So it's like volleyball mixed with hacky sack.
Yeah, it's all the best parts about hacky sack mixed with all the worst parts about volleyball.
What are the best parts of volleyball?
Being able to use your arms. I used to,
Okay, hold on. Whoa. What are the best parts of hacky sack then?
just kind of hitting around a little sack.
Okay, so what you're wanting to do is play volleyball, but you can hit the ball with any part of your body.
Yeah, which I mean is, I guess, volleyball.
I think that's already volleyball.
Yeah.
I think. Can you kick it?
I don't know if you can kick it. I know you can use your head. I used to play volleyball on a team. Do you know that?
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. The arms are really the most effective way. So
And you called soccer a girly sport.
you know what?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Volleyball is fun.
It is very similar to volleyball.
I'm
There is
very
a net
bad at it.
and everything.
I'm very. Were you good? Because I'm very bad at volleyball.
I mean, I definitely was not the best on the team. But like as time went on, I definitely got better. So I mean,
That's cool.
I can properly play volleyball.
Can you spike that ball?
No, I mean, I guess
Oh.
technically I could. Not like good though. And this last one on the Huffington Post is musical canine freestyle. Once again,
That's
dogs
not
prove that they are a man's best friend. Combining tricks, dance, and obedience training, musical canine freestyle is a sport where canines and humans perform together. Talk
Nope.
about teamwork.
Not a sport.
The sport is relatively new, but is on the rise. Not to
Not a sport.
mention absolutely adorable.
That's a circus act.
Just a genuine nope, not a sport. No, that's a circus.
Well, what is it exactly? I'm sure it's not a sport, but I'm curious what it is.
It doesn't. I guess it's just too. And it there's no way it is a sport because it looks like. So it's tricks, dance, obedience training.
That's just a dog show, isn't it?
I guess there's a video, and I'm gonna watch it and explain it to you. Dog
That
dancing
little
final.
musical sting.
There's this. So it's just dancing with your dog. I mean, it is cute, definitely.
That's irrelevant.
This dog is just circling their master. What is happening? Okay, this just got weird. I'm done watching it before I accidentally unlock a curse. It was this woman standing there in a shawl, and this dog bows to her and starts walking around her, and then she pulls the shawl off, and they start spinning and walking around each other at the same time as this really weird music played. And I feel like
Yeah, I
I
think
might
they
have
heard
just
a little bit of
accidentally
it.
cursed my entire family.
Well, that's okay.
I didn't have enough time to get to the other one, the other news article I found, but I think we might have talked about enough weird sports.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, the the other two on the list were, of course, wife carrying and the cheese roll.
Yeah, because of course they were on that list
Yeah.
too. Because those are crazy.
Yeah. But I think the extreme ironing alone was enough for this episode. But you know, there are plenty of weird sports out there.
There are.
Jeez.
Make up your own weird sport.
Make up your own weird sport. If you want to just make better rules to one of the ones that we said, go for it. Like if you want to do toe wrestling, but maybe not with dirty feet. Maybe
There's no way to do that.
maybe another
Don't toe wrestle.
Maybe do
Stop.
like a arm wrestling thing, but like with a different part of the body that isn't disgusting.
The head wrestling. You put your head against the other guy and you push until one of you accidentally kills the other one
Yeah, and
by snapping their neck.
anyway, I'm gonna kick it over to you because something happened today.
Oh no.
Did it?
Let me open my
let me get there.
okay, so today, July 15th,
Mm-hmm.
in 1960,
Mm-hmm.
The Twist was first released.
The song?
Yes, and the dance craze.
Yeah, That really?
Yeah, 1960 today.
1960. That's crazy. I can't remember how the song goes for some reason right now.
I can't either.
I feel like you can, you just don't want to sing it.
No, I don't. I really don't know.
It's like, do the
Do
twist.
the twist.
Yeah, that's it. Do the
Something like
twist. I think. I could be
I don't know.
completely wrong.
We could be wrong. We both thought of that though, so we're both really wrong.
That was I remember being young, in my
Because you're so old now.
like actually young, like 7.
Yeah. Back when I was a boy.
Back when I was a little boy. I remember being over at my cousin's house, and they used to have a van. I feel like I have this vivid memory of them
You can get there.
of being in that van and them putting on the Twist song. And it was like right after we had gotten home, or gotten to their house, and I just like got out and started doing the Twist. I really feel like I vividly remember that.
That's a strange memory.
Yeah.
That's a good one though. I just want to hit one other thing that happened today because I love it.
Yeah.
In 1988, Die Hard was released, and I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
With,
Ho, ho, ho.
Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman.
I have a machine gun.
Now I have a machine gun.
It's weird to think Severus Snape being in that movie.
Oh, he's amazing.
He is. He really is. Me being a young man now, I only really knew of Alan Rickman as Severus Snape. I mean, I was never really into Harry Potter to begin with, but the whole thing, like you didn't. The generation I grew up with knew him as Severus Snape, so I didn't know until somewhat recently that he was actually like a really good actor.
What, is he not good as Snape? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I never really watched it, but I mean, I never really care for. I mean, I would imagine those movies are good, but I never really care for like teenage book series being adapted into movies because it always feels a little pandery.
I see what you mean.
So, I mean, I'm sure he was very good in that role, but, you know, I just never cared for those movies. But yeah, Alan Rickman, great actor. What was the original one? Oh, The Twist.
Yeah.
Do you know that The Twist was actually if you
Well,
play
you
it,
can talk about either one.
well, yeah, but
Okay.
if you play the twist backwards on a 2-speed, it's actually a cult ritual where
Well, actually,
where they're
well,
summoning a twist monster that just does the dance and affects people's minds by putting the song into their head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's not true.
Uh-oh.
But Die Hard was actually supposed to be a romantic comedy where
Where Alan Rickman's character.
Alan Rickman's character and
Bruce Willis's
character were fighting over his. I don't know if she's his ex-wife or like they're currently.
It's been a while.
In the middle of a
I will
divorce.
say it has been a while since I've seen that movie.
But they have to like. There's a lot of wacky hijinks of like murder and stuff, and then like he's gonna take over the.
Are you sure?
Thing
Because
and steal the money.
I thought originally that it was the romantic comedy was between Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis.
Between Alec Rickman
Alec Rickman, Alec Baldwin,
and Bruce Wilson.
Bruce Wilson. I thought it was between their characters. Like they were the ones who were like romantic. The romantic.
We never got that. We never got that movie, unfortunately.
Sadly, it just turned out to be like a great Christmas movie for the whole family.
Yeah. Yet another good Christmas movie.
It is
Watch
actually
that
a
in
good
Gremlins.
Christmas movie.
Watch that in Gremlins.
Two great Christmas movies that don't follow the typical format.
And watch Home Alone because that one's fun.
That one's a good one. Classic. Anyway, let's kick it over to Sam once again for your holiday corner, buddy.
Yep. Today, again, July 15th, and I've chose this one only, it's for a very specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
National Get Out of the Doghouse Day registered.
Did
got the R.
You chose it just because it's registered.
Because it's registered. Who did that? I need to read real quick.
Who? Okay, So is it saying specifically, like, if you are in a relationship and your significant other is, like, mad at you...
Have you recently wronged someone and they've put you in the doghouse?
Quotations.
Or is there someone you haven't spoken to for a while and you've put in the doghouse yourself? Today is for mending the strained relationships that have left some in doghouses.
How do you register this?
I don't know. I was imagining there'd be like a company associated with it.
Who knows?
Okay, let's just hit another one real quick.
Okay.
It's also National Tapioca Pudding Day.
The best one. The best pudding. I've actually had tapioca. It's not bad.
I love tapioca.
Is that the one
pudding.
like that has like the little jelly bits in it?
Yeah, the tapioca.
Yeah, yeah. What is tapioca?
I think it's a plant. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
I eat it regardless.
It's good. It's like I haven't had it in a long time. I remember Codename Kids Next Door talked about tapioca pudding a lot, didn't they?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't remember.
But I remember, or it might have been like a movie special that they did where tapioca pudding was like a big player in it.
I remember they really liked root beer.
Yeah.
That was
I think the adults like tapioca pudding because they're like old. But I remember seeing it on Codename Kids Next Door and being like, "Oh, I would love to try some of that good tapioca pudding that they talk about so much." I tried it and I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty good." It kind of reminds me of butterscotch.
I don't think I've had butterscotch. If it's like tapioca pudding, then I have not had butterscotch.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
could
don't
be
know.
wrong. I
Certainly don't know.
I could be thinking of a different type of pudding. I could have just had butterscotch pudding and
That's
thought it was
probably
tapioca.
it. Because if I'm remembering correctly, it tastes nothing like butterscotch.
I don't know. Anyway, this has been our
on-
podcast.
On this weird note,
Eat some butterscotch or
eat some butterscotch on National Tapioca Pudding
eat
Day.
some tapioca pudding and get out of that dang doghouse.
Actually, yeah, like eat some tapioca pudding in a literal doghouse.
No, okay. This is gonna require some setup. Take some tapioca pudding, put it like 5 yards out from the doghouse, Make sure you are wearing a leash.
Yes.
And then your goal is, and this will turn into a sport, but it can only
This is our sport,
it
too.
can only be done on July 15th.
Yes.
Annually. You get like a 4.5 foot leash, and your goal is to get the tapioca pudding that's right out of your reach, by exiting the doghouse first. So that's your goal for today. I know it's short notice, but do it. If you don't have a doghouse, build one. Go buy some tapioca pudding. Do it all today, right now, or we will kill you.
Okay,
Anyway,
none of that's true.
Anyway, this has been the 25th.
We haven't done that in so long. How did you do that?
For those of you who don't know, I was about to say this has been the last.
I absolutely heard that.
I was gonna try to cover it up, but then you caught it.
Okay, please outro us correctly this time.
It's been the 25th episode of From Our Perspective. Sorry. It's been a long week. Thank you for listening to this stupid fucking podcast.
That is called From Our Perspective.
That is From Our Perspective. Jesus, I'm tempted to want to edit that out, but it's so fun.
It'll be fine.
This has been From Our Perspective. Thanks for listening. If you would like to listen to this podcast, you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube. You can find us at all of those places at From Our Perspective. If you'd like to hear more from us, of course, we have social medias. You can find us at FOP_pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook at The Large Lads. And you can find us at YouTube. Our actual YouTube channel is From Our Perspective. Other than that, we post the podcast every Monday, and we will see you next Monday. I've been Trace.
And I've been Sam.
Bye.
Toodaloo.